Hello, historians. I am so excited to share with you your eligible research topics for fall 2024. So you have found your way to the screen because you are in the process of completing an assignment where you are going to sign up for or choose a research project that is appropriate for this particular class. So this is the page where all of the eligible research topics are. And you can click on any of these links. And also, I want you to watch this video kind of explaining what the research project is and what each of these eligible topics are. All right, so we don't have a final exam in this class. We have a final research project. And this is an assignment that is focused on local history. So local South Phoenix history. Your challenge and what I'm grading you for or on is to place something local or someone local that is unique to South Phoenix in the context of overall Arizona state history. This is not easy work, but it is rewarding and I think it's super fun. So to do this, you want to watch my tutorial, which you're doing right now, and you will learn a little bit about your potential topics. Once you've watched my video, I want you to select from the potential research topics listed below. So I'm going to talk you through each of these. Once we get to about 5, they're all basically the same. But these first 4 are very unique. So I want you to pay very close attention to what I'm asking you to do for these assignments, okay? Okay, here are your potential research projects. The first is called Where is South Phoenix? So here's the story on this. I am currently in the process of co-writing an article with another researcher out of who works with the South Phoenix Oral History Project. She and I have written this article called Where is South Phoenix? And we are going to submit it to publication later on, I think January 2025. What we need is for someone like you, a student in this class, to review dozens of oral history indexes that we've already processed. So you would actually just look through different indexes that you can find on our website, for example, looking for examples, quotes, and content about the boundaries of South Phoenix. You'll provide us with timestamps and direct quotes and also write a small piece which will be published in my article. So maybe 2 or 3 paragraphs. It won't be long, but it will need to be good. And it will need to be sort of extensive and concise because you're covering a lot of information in a short period of time. I'm looking for quotes, nuance, detail, and an explanation on this question of where is South Phoenix. This does require you to meet with me virtually or in person before you can get started because there's a lot to this. I'm going to want to share the article with you. I'm going to want to show you how to find the indexes, how to look for timestamps, how to look for quotes on South Phoenix. So if this intrigues you, please reach out to me and schedule or coordinate an interview or a conversation, with me as soon as possible. Now, there's a caveat. Most of these projects you can work in small teams. This can only be one student. There's a couple of reasons for that, but basically that's because you're going to be considered a co-author on this article. So it'll be me, Summer Sherland, Elianetta, and your name will be published in this article. I will also need a 3-sentence bio about you because as an author, we're going to profile who you are. So if that interests you, it's very unique, it's very different, it's synthesizing a lot of content and finding a couple examples and then synthesizing a lot. Okay, another really interesting one is archival processing. Now, this requires in-person work. So if you are an on-campus student and you're here once a week or a couple times a week, this may be right for you. If you are a fully online student, you have no interest in coming to the college, totally fine, no judgment, but this is not your research project, okay? So if you're interested in this, the Links Incorporated is one of the oldest surviving civil rights organizations here in Arizona, and it is a women's organization primarily of African-American women, and the Phoenix chapter is the oldest west of the Mississippi. Well, they have reached out and contracted with us, South Mountain Community College, to process and manage their archival material. So I'm looking for a student who can help me do that and just get it started because there's so much. They think they started in like 1945. So we have over 60 years of materials to process. So you don't need to do it all. You just need to help me get it started. So this can be 1, 2, or 3 students, and it requires in-person work. Okay. The driving tour of historic South Phoenix. Now, you can click on any of these links to learn more. I will click on some of these as well. I didn't with the links because it doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters in terms of your interest in the organization, but it doesn't show you pictures of the archives or anything like that. But I will show you with this one. If you're interested in working on the driving tour of historic South Phoenix, this is a 3-hour tour. We take people in charter buses, we take people in small vans, and we drive them around South Phoenix and we teach them all about our local history. Well, what I need from you is I've had over the years, students have rewritten and revised our driving tour booklet. And I need somebody who is a good writer and a good editor, and maybe even pretty decent with design. The driving tour is currently in the Canva app. And so someone who's comfortable or familiar with Canva to help me place some of the new material, the new content into our existing driving tour book. It will require a couple virtual meetings with me, maybe 1 or 2, just to make sure you're on the right track, because my standards are very, very high. You will be expected to coordinate those meetings with me as soon as possible. And students who choose this project will be given co-edit credit on the book. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. So this is our website. And if you were interested in the South Phoenix Historic Driving Tour, this is what our booklet looks like. This is the digital version. We also have a physical version. Let me see if I can show you. So it just looks like this. So we will print new ones and your name would be somewhere either on the front or the back as the editor. So you'll notice, like, I think there are 8 stops on this tour, and each stop has a picture and maybe 1 small or 2 or 3 very short paragraphs. We're looking to expand each of these into a half page. So all the content is written. Other students have already written this content. It's just a matter of plugging it in. And so I would give you access to our Canva account, and you would basically go to town. We wouldn't want you to change too much in terms of the formatting. Like, we like the font, we like the colors. We don't need any logo help, nothing like that. It's all specific to content pertaining to different stops in South Phoenix. So if that interests you, let me know. We also have content editing for the website, the South Phoenix Oral History Project. I need somebody who can help me upload, copy, copy is like written content, images and video clips of previously completed student work. So here's what's happening. We've been conducting interviews with people about South Phoenix history for like 7 years now. And what happens is we end up with a backlog where we have interview clips, stories, indexes, which you'll learn about in a moment, photographs, ready to go, but no one to help load it onto the website. So I'm looking for students to help me do that. So you could, if you were to choose this, you would help me design a website for different narrators, which would include photographs, the content that again is already written, YouTube or video clips, as you can see here, metadata, etc., and then publish it on the website. Now, what you would get publishing credit here in our metadata table. So interviewed by, we always have the students who interviewed them, their names are here, and the story is written by, and then we would probably add you as an editor here in our metadata table. So if that interests you, like if you have copy editing or web design in your future, that may be a really good fit for you. Okay, those are kind of the unique ones. Now moving forward, the remainder projects, what are these, 8 projects, I believe at this point? These are traditional research projects in the sense that these are interviews that we've conducted with dozens. I mean, we've conducted probably 150 interviews at this point with community members who worked or lived in South Phoenix for a long time. We tend to require 20 years or more. And what we need is students like you to place these individuals in a broader Arizona context. And we need this for all of these projects, but these are a little bit more standard. So each of you, if you're not interested in any of those kind of specialized ones, and you just want to do kind of the basic research project, each of you will process, index, and analyze a completed oral history interview. I'm going to tell you about each of these people so that you know, like, oh, this person interests me or this person doesn't interest me. I walk you through how to index and analyze these oral histories. You end up writing something very much like this, and you create an index for each narrator that is interviewed. So all these interviews are already done. You don't have to sit in on an interview. You don't have to find somebody to interview. It's nothing like that. You take one that's already done and you make it meaningful. This is crucial work. This is something that is so important for historians to be able to do. Take raw material, a primary source, and make it meaningful, make it matter, make it contextualize. So here are, each of these has a link to our Google Drive where their materials are held. So here's Jackie and Lula's interviews. Um, and uh, they will also have like if there's photographs, for example. So here's Karen Mislippy. You can see there's her whole interview, but there's also all these photographs. She gave us tons and tons and tons of historic photographs. So that's not a cool one. Let's see if this one's better. Like old photos from the 1960s and 50s. Very cool. So let me tell you who each of these people are. Jackie Garner and Lula Smith are sisters-in-law, and they both lived and grew up in South Phoenix and attended Roosevelt schools, South Mountain High School in the 1950s and 60s. Gaston is a longtime Roosevelt School District leader. She is, I think there's a picture of her with some students. You might recognize her. She worked at Irene Lopez Academy for a long time, and now she's in the district office. Susan Iniguez is also a longtime Roosevelt School District employee. Her first job was at Sunland Elementary. You might recognize Sunland. I don't think it's a school anymore. And she was part of the early bilingual project or bilingual education project at the Roosevelt School District. Now, Verna McLean, we have this one's unique. So each of those ones I just showed you are video interviews. We do them in the studio here at the college. We interview them and we save the recording for later. Well, Verna McLean, actually, we interviewed her, well, an external researcher interviewed her in the early 2000s. And she, at the time, was probably in her last 2 or 3 years of life. So we never had an opportunity to interview Verna herself. But that researcher, Marty, actually donated his interview with Verna to the college. So I'm looking for it here. It's an audio file. Let's see here. Let's do file size. Or let's do maybe audio. See if it's in here. Well, we'll have to find it. So, oh, that's because it says Verna McLean photos. My bad. So just Verna. So you can see all these photos. You can access these no problem. But her audio file, here's a video with her. She's in it, but she's not the primary speaker. Her audio file is, where are you, friend? Oh yeah, Verna McLean interview with Marty Gibson. And you can see it's just a regular old audio file. You won't get to watch it. But what you do have is, because we have a scholarship named for Verna here at South Mountain Community College, we did write and produce a short video about Verna McLean. So you can also watch it and learn about her life as a researcher. And when we're researchers, anytime we find content relating to our topic, it's like such a thrill. Karen Mishlippy, I kind of introduced, or she's actually Miss Lippy. She grew up here in South Phoenix. Her parents or her grandparents, I can't remember, came here in the 19 teens. So she's been here for a very, very long time. And she is a crucial member of the South Phoenix history. So her story is fascinating. I showed you one of her photos, but this is the house on 7th Avenue. Oh no, that's Mystery Castle. My bad. That's Mystery Castle. 1930s. This is her and her brother, I believe, outside of their house on 7th Street. So there's tons of fun archival pictures to see. This is her mother in front of their house. So if you're interested in her, Karen worked forever at the Parks and Rec department. So if you're interested in something like Parks and Rec, or you have a career interest in working with kids or working in education, but not really as a teacher, that may interest you as well. Cindy Kishiyama Harbottle. Now, Cindy was the daughter of George Kishiyama, who is one of the original Japanese-American farmers who grew flowers on Baseline Road. So just Google the Japanese flower gardens and you will find out what I'm talking about. So that's Cindy's story. She is a great storyteller. Her interview is so fun. That might interest you as well. So if you remember the flower gardens, her story might be really attractive to you. Dana Burns is a civil rights activist here in South Phoenix. She also works with the Parks Department. She is in the process of getting a community center built at Esteban Park, and she's been around forever. She grew up on like 32nd and Weir, I think. So if you grew up in that area, if you went to Palmdale or George Brooks Academy, as it was later called, her story might relate to you in one way or another. All right. Doris Burt Johnson, who grew up in Okemah. Okemah is a community that is like 32nd Street, just basically where the freeway is, like just north of the freeway to Broadway. And they just recently had a big historic marker that was unveiled, remembering and commemorating the history of Okemah. And we interviewed a ton of Okemah residents a couple of months ago, and she's the last one. We have not processed her interview quite yet. She's a lovely woman. So let's see if I have a picture of her for you. Oh, this is her. This is one of the organizations she founded, which was like a community watch program, which I think is really, really cool. All right. And then finally, I have not interviewed Miss Antoinette quite yet, but I'll be interviewing her this Wednesday. So that link will be uploaded soon. She is a longtime member of the Roosevelt School District as well. So Roosevelt School District is really what covers most of South Phoenix. And she is sharing with us her life and her experiences growing up here. Okay, so once you've picked your topic, you're going to go to this assignment, South Phoenix Oral History Project, select your topic. And remember, local history provides the natural link between immediate experience and general history. I'm not just assigning this to you because I just feel like giving students this kind of work. This is an opportunity for you to directly apply what you have learned about Arizona history to this class and to this location where we live and work here at South Mountain Community College. So the very first thing you need to do is what you're doing right now, which is watch your film, doing local history. Watch this tutorial. In it, I explain what you'll be doing. Then you're going to select a topic to research over the next few weeks. I suggest that you pick your topic based on the amount of time you have and your interests or preferences. Those interview ones, they're pretty basic, maybe 5 to 10 hours of work. Those others, like the other ones, those will be a little bit more time consuming unless you're really strong in working with Canva, for example. The only duplicates I will allow are if you're working with a team. So if 2 people want to work on the driving tour, for example, that's fine if you want to work as a team. But if you want to work individually, I can only have one at a time. It's too messy to try and have 2 people working on the same project. Priority goes to the student and or team who posts first. So if you are in love with the idea of analyzing Verna McLean's story, claim it now, put it in the discussion board now so that you're able to claim that. Because if I see multiples, you'll either have to work as a team, which usually if you don't want to work on a team, you don't want to work on a team, or you have to choose another topic. All right, and then I've been circling around this for a minute here, so let's get to it. Decide if you want to work alone or with a team of up to 3, no more than 3. If 4 people want to work on a team, I'll make you split into 2 teams of 2. Take a look at the previous post or scan this discussion board if you want to work on a team but don't know who to work with. Because there may be things that interest you, that interest other people. You're like, I really like working on a team, but I'm not friends with anyone in the class. You can just put that out here. Just say, like, I want to work on a team. Anyone want to be in my team with me? Okay, when you're ready, claim your topic and identify your team. Post in the discussion board the following 2 things. What topic did you pick and what piqued your interest? And then your name and the team member, no more than 3. So all members of the team. If you are working alone, you could just say, I want to work alone. So let's say I post mine. I really want to research Karen Miss Lippy. I want to work alone. That's fine. But let's say I want to work with Travis and Liz. Okay, I want to research Karen Miss Lippy and I want to work with Travis and Liz. That means Liz has to post, I want to work with Summer and Travis. And Travis has to post, I want to work with Summer and Liz. Okay, so you have to make sure that all team members post here because I need consent. I need proof that you are putting each other's grades in each other's hands. Okay, so everybody needs to post as a team, like at a time, right? Hints and resources. Some of these topics are already better researched, than others. For example, we have nearly a terabyte of data on Dr. Raul Cardenas, whereas we may have other topics that are a little bit more vague. And I've shared all of that with you in terms of eligible research projects. So you should pick a topic that makes you comfortable, that makes you interested. If you don't have time to research something that is relatively unknown to you, or you don't have time to come to campus, there is no judgment. I am not upset with you. Just don't choose a topic that doesn't align with your abilities or your interest. be sure to check this discussion board before you fall in love with the topic, because I will not allow duplicates. I will only allow group work. So claim the topic you want if it's not been claimed. If it has been claimed, move on to another topic. I highly encourage you to look ahead at what's coming up, because whatever you choose today will affect the rest of your time in this class. So make sure you choose a topic based on what you're capable of accomplishing. And then to access any materials we have pertaining to these topics, I want you to try searching our digital archive, the South Phoenix Oral History Project. I've added most of you as a viewer by now, so check your email notifications for a link. And if you are working on a team, as I said, all team members must post. Okay, if you have questions, please let me know. I am so excited this semester. I look forward to your research assignments. I can't wait to see what you put together. And I look forward to seeing what you all choose. All right, bye, everybody. Bye.